Dr. Lau rides a golden donkey, implied to be the golden ass of Apuleius, into the small town of Abalone, Arizona, and visits Edward Cunningham's newspaper to place a large advertisement for his traveling circus, which will play for 2 nights only. Though quiet, Abalone is not peaceful. Wealthy rancher Clinton Stark has inside information that a railroad is coming to town and plans to buy the entire town while the land is cheap. Stark arrives at the newspaper offices to confront Cunningham about a recent editorial in opposition to Stark's plan. Lau, waiting to place his ad, silently listens to the meeting. Another of Stark's opponents is Angela Benedict, a widow librarian and schoolteacher. Cunningham displays affection for her, embarrassing her in a visit to the library to research Lau's background. But she suppresses her reciprocal feelings. At a town hall meeting, Stark announces that the town's 16-mile-long water supply pipe is decaying and that a replacement would be prohibitively expensive. He offers to buy the entire town. Arguing against the offer, Cunningham introduces George G. George, a Navajo Indian who lives nearby in a town whose residents depend on Abalone's existence. Stark reluctantly allows the townspeople to ponder their choice until the next Friday night. The next day, Cunningham confronts Lau at the circus site, arguing that Lau's hometown vanished centuries earlier. The mysterious Lau deflects Cunningham's questions. Later, Angela's young son Mike learns that Lau is 7,321 years old. When the circus opens, Lau uses his many faces to offer his wisdom, including those of Pan, the god of joy, the great serpent, Medusa, and the magician Merlin. Mike visits Lau seeking a job, displaying his novice juggling and conjuring skills. Lau instead offers observations in the form of a poetic speech about the world and life. As a circus, it is learned that on the first night of the circus, Stark's henchmen destroyed the newspaper office. Angela is kept awake that night, plagued by the music that Pan played while nobody else can hear it. At dawn, the newspapermen are astonished to discover that their office has been fully restored with the press operating. Attributing it to Lau, they rush to produce a short edition of the paper, which Cunningham delivers to Stark in the morning. When he visits the circus site, Lau offers encouragement and calls on Cunningham to keep faith. That evening, Lau stages his grand finale, a magic lantern show depicting the story of a once happy kingdom of Waldecan, destroyed by the pettiness and greed of its inhabitants. The Abalone townspeople are at first delighted to see themselves represented in the vision, then chastened as it progresses toward the end of the mythical civilization in explosions and darkness. The townspeople find themselves again in the library in a town meeting. A vote is called on Stark's proposal, and to the surprise of Cunningham, Benedict and Stark, it is rejected unanimously. Stark tells everyone about the coming railroad and Angela confesses her love to Cunningham. Stark's henchmen are confused by his apparent change of character and trash Lau's circus in a drunken spree, during which they break Dr. Lau's fishbowl. The fish inside it is revealed to be the Loch Ness Monster, which balloons to enormous size when exposed to the open air. After it chases the two thugs away, Dr. Lau conjures rain to wet the monster and shrink it to its original size. Morning comes and the circus is gone, with only a red circle on the desert floor where the tent had been. At first Mike's reports of the previous night are disbelieved, but Stark finds the hat belonging to one of the henchmen. Mike chases a dust plume that seems to him to be the spirit of Dr. Lau. However, Mike finds only 3 wooden balls, which he juggles while summoning the spirit of Lau to observe. Dr. Lau rides away as his advice from 2 nights earlier is repeated, reminding Mike that the circus of Dr. Lau is life itself, and that everything within it is a wonder.